You know what happens in Comic-Con? Lots of comic book stuff that I'm really not interested in, even though I love superheroes, and Young Justice Season 3 is gonna have spoilers! And you know what happens right after that? Some seriously good juice, like really good juice. And it's even better juice when it comes from official news outlets.
Lottie Grondel describes herself as a hardcore gamer.
That's not even a title that I would describe myself. Gamers don't slap hardcore labels on themselves, they just are. Before you start slapping labels to yourself to reassure that you can join in the kids club, you better start showing some gaming creds. And oh yes, I actually said that. I am being sexist by asking a woman to show her gaming cred. But I apologize, my lady. One does not simply claim to be Captain America when you have the physiques of pre-serum Steve Rogers.
I do spend quite a few of my waking hours either in front of a PC or in front of a console.
Wait a second. That's an iMac, right?
Like kids before her, the 90s baby was first turned on to video games by the Super Mario Brothers.
Well, I guess one way to improve your gaming cred is to have Super Mario Brothers in your library list. But Mario is too mainstream and too casual. See whether or not you have either Duke or Doom. Then we'll talk about you being a hardcore gamer.
Then there was Legend of Zelda.
That's A Link to the Past, not the original Legend of Zelda, which is weird when you can play the original Mario, but not the original Zelda. Small nitpick, moving on.
And Final Fantasy X.
Not exactly the strongest entry in the series, as far as I know. I would still prefer the 6th or the 3rd, depending on which region we're talking about here.
The evolution of gaming now
she actually installed Windows in a Mac machine. I suppose a Core i7 and 4K resolution monitor is enough to run League of Legends. Well, you do you.
The evolution of gaming now lets her indulge anywhere with Wi-Fi.
What? What do you mean? Let her indulge anywhere in Wi-Fi? What does anywhere mean? Does anybody who made this video even know what they're freaking talking about?
The evolution of gaming now lets her indulge anywhere with Wi-Fi, including the KPBS newsroom.
Oh, I think what you're referring to as anywhere here is with Wi-Fi, she's able to download the clients for freemium games like League of Legends and play anywhere. And by anywhere, we mean anywhere that has a desktop PC that can run League of Legends, including an iMac with Windows and its capability of Wi-Fi. So, not really anywhere unless you have a freaking laptop that can play video games and can play League of Legends, obviously.
So he's my support. Because I am a pretty weak character whose main job is just to do a lot of damage really fast.
Grondel is playing Jinx in the hugely popular game League of Legends. An estimated 27 million people play this game every day.
The thing about hardcore gamers and the ones that make them stand out more than the typical gamers or the casual ones is that League of Legends isn't just their library. And I don't know about you, but if I want to claim that I'm a hardcore gamer, League of Legends is the last thing that I would show.
I think we should prioritize you a little bit more.
Anna Nguyen is another League of Legends player, though admittedly less vocal.
And why is that, my lady? Why should you cower in fear about your gaming hobby?
When I play a game, and usually if there's like voice chat or something like that, I don't want it made known that I'm a female. That's probably a part of it.
Well, the chat is cancer and you can do nothing about it. But that's not the sort of problem that you're facing alone, lady. Be me, have thousands of subscribers, and have the chat derail the conversation into talking about hentais. Or maybe that's just me.
Nguyen says she's less inclined to play with strangers or reveal her gender.
You're well aware that there's an option to mute people, right?
There's a stigma that girls aren't good at playing video games, so it's like, oh man, I have a girl on my team.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't play games online and I don't know the skills of the women here. You tell me, ladies, how good are women in games? I don't want to mansplain you here.
Grondel and Nguyen don't know each other. They're two San Diego professionals who dedicate hours to the gaming culture. They're part of the growing millions of women who have ousted teen boys as the largest gaming demographic in the U.S.
I came knocking on your door 1,000,000 times, and you laughed at me.
Yes, there are more adult women playing games than teen men. Do you know why? Because there are more adults playing games than teen in general. Please refer to my last video where I showed that statistics is absolute horrendous horseshit in the top right corner or in the video description if you want to know more details, including the citations of where these idiots get this data.
And they both find being a woman gamer comes with added challenges.
You know what's more sexist than saying bad shit to women in games? Treating them as if they're victims who cannot take care of themselves and are dumbasses who don't know the freaking mute button. Seriously, I'm sure these two women are nice to hang around with, but you're painting them as if they're horrendous victims of abuse coming from those horrible online trolls, as if they don't know what a mute button is.
Lottie likens it to hazing.
When somebody brings up a video game and you engage in conversation, the male never has to prove himself as worthy of joining the conversation, but usually everybody stops the conversation, turns to me, and kind of quizzes me.
Yeah, that's a load of BS, lady. I've had people who join in conversations who are men that claims that they have every idea what we're talking about in video games, but turns out they have no idea what we're talking about and just chime into the conversation for the sake of getting in with the kids.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Yes, turns out that there are men who don't play video games and want to just join in the conversation because they think they know what they're talking about. We call these people attention whores for a good reason, because they join into conversations claiming to have an idea of what they're talking about, but turns out they don't. If I join in the girls in the conversations about makeups and I claim to be an expert in makeups even though I'm not, should I claim victim by the time the girls say that I have no idea what I'm talking about?
Nguyen says the taunts and negative comments have completely turned her off from group chatting.
People say really toxic things online just because there's a screen. You don't have to deal with people face to face.
That's why you have the freaking mute button and disable the freaking chats. Hello? This isn't a problem that only women face, as evidenced by the freaking Pew Research. Watch my last video about online harassment for more information on that.
It's Mia Consalvo.
Mia Consalvo.
Nope. If you don't know who Mia Consalvo is, she's the president of Digital Games Research Association, aka DiGRA, who is best summed up as a freaking social justice circle jerk. There's a video about DiGRA on the top right there. Highly recommend you to watch it if you want to know who they really are. And she's also the same person who said men have no gender. So take her following opinions with a huge grain of salt.
Mia Consalvo is a professor and Canada Research Chair in Game Studies and Design at Concordia University in Montreal.
As long as people have played games and as long as we've had research about, digital games and online games or multiplayer games, there have been problems, with bullying, with abuse, with harassment.
Well, that's what happens by the time the internet comes in. People decided to shitpost and harass each other online, and men also get harassed online too. Oh, but this doesn't dismiss the women problem. Well, no, it doesn't, but it does put into question on why you want to focus specifically in one gender.
Consalvo says women aren't the only targets.
Men? Is it men? Is it men?
And it's also, a problem not just for women. Gay players have been harassed. Minority players have been harassed as well.
All right, everybody, keep your cool!
Like most online networks, Consalvo says game developers struggle to enforce rules with their users and give the targets of online abuse legitimate ways to follow up offline.
That's why game developers should provide individual users the ability to mute the freaking chats, because game developers cannot solve the issue of an overwhelming number of players who troll people in online rooms that just so happen to be everybody ever. Players themselves, however, they can solve this problem if they have the necessary tools for it. So give mute buttons and disable chat options for God's sake.
Nguyen thinks anonymity fuels toxicity.
Yeah, it is a mirror of society, but maybe amplified because you're behind a screen.
Well, like I said before, at least some of these people know what's going on.
More recently, I feel like there's more of an incorporation of stronger women, not, large-chested women.
Initially, I thought she said strong women, large-chested women, to which I would go, yes, I love you, whoever you are. But then she said strong women, not large-chested women. All right, then.
The women gamers also agree. For them, the joys of gaming outweigh the negative aspects. Grondo says there's no better way to decompress, escape, and kick butt.
A lot of people say, get a life. Well, sure, but I'm a gamer. I have lots of lives.
Well, at least we can agree on one thing. So what do we learn today, ladies and gentlemen? Online gaming is toxic and women are the victims. We should care more about them. As opposed to solving this issue for everybody in the entire freaking world who suffered from online harassment and online abuse, let's only solve this for women, because they're second-class citizens that absolutely need our help. You know what can solve women's problems? Money! Huge thanks to Jormungandr and Lord Necrosis for the pledges. I'll make sure that I'll put the money in good use by throwing them in a nearby oppressed Tumblrite. That's all for the video today. If you like this, you can go ahead, click the like button, and subscribe for more. If you wish.
Minority players have been harassed as well.
Actually, never mind. You should donate to my PayPal or Patreon. I am a minority who suffered from horrendous online abuse, and the best way for you to help me to claim victim status is to donate to my PayPal and Patreon. I will surely put these money into good use, and by good use, I mean more games on my PS4!